Manifestation. We are coming to you from TikTok and 5 other channels. So Facebook is one of them. We have a bunch of others. So we'd like to welcome you this morning. Aloha, I'm Junior. So we're going to discuss manifestation. Now, manifestation is not, mystical or magical. It's magical in the sense that you're a human being, but it's not magical in the sense that, only certain people can do it or what. No, you manifest whether you're aware of it or not. You manifest whether you think so or not. If you look around you, the things that you have manifested are around you. So what kind of friends do you have? You know the old expression, right? If you show me your 5 closest friends and I'll tell you who you are, kind of thing, right? So your vibe attracts your tribe. So your vibe will always attract your tribe, like 24/7, 365. Now, you're going to notice that I kind of look down here, okay, because you guys are on my page over there, and you guys are going to see that I look down here because I have a channel down here. We're live on 6 networks right now. And so we're going to be answering questions on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you can find me at JRKJR on TikTok. And Alex, good morning, Alex. Good morning. Good morning, Jay. So Jay is doing producer duties today, so my producer Jay is on TikTok, and we're answering questions live on the feed. I will also answer questions on Facebook on this account, on my account up there. So if you guys have any questions, Chaz, how's it, Chaz? Brandon, how's it, you guys? So we want to welcome you, and we're going to be answering questions about manifestation. Manifestation comes from your subconscious mind, okay? This is not witchcraft. You don't have to do spells and stuff to, accomplish manifestation, okay? So manifestation happens whether you think so or not, whether you're aware of it or not. You don't have to believe in it. It'll just happen, and it comes from your subconscious. Good morning, Sky Fox. All right. Good morning, you guys. So now, if you guys have any questions, just put it in the chat. If you have questions on Facebook, put it up there. And we're looking at the chat on TikTok. We're also on other networks. We're on 5 other networks simultaneously. So we're not going to mention them because the algorithm on TikTok may be affected. Good morning, Sky Fox. Good morning. So anyway, let's today we're going to talk about the 12 spiritual universal laws, okay? Why are 2 of your fingernails so long? Oh, because, no, it's not a cocaine spoon. I use it to play guitar. So, yeah, I'm glad you asked, Chaz. I use it to do stuff like this. Yeah, so do this guy stuff, yeah. Well, you can hardly hear it because I'm not in the best position to do it, but I do a lot of Spanish guitar work. So I hope that answers your question. It's not my cocaine spoon. So he says, is that your cocaine spoon? I got a lot of guys with a good sense of humor on my Facebook page. So mahalo, Chaz. Thank you. Aloha, and thank you for being with us. So aloha from Hawaii, you guys. We're being broadcast on 6 different channels, 7 different channels this morning, 7 different pages across various networks. So we want to say good morning and aloha from Hawaii. So now we're going to talk about the 12 universal laws today, okay? And I got to tell you guys that there is only the conscious, the subconscious, and superconscious. That's all there is, okay? Now the superconscious is consciousness, or God, if you will, okay? Now everybody has their, own beliefs and stuff in that area, so we're not gonna really discuss that as far as religion is concerned. So we're not here to discuss that kind of thing like that. I am here to discuss how your manifestations work, though, and that's one thing that we will do. Now, the 12 spiritual laws, okay, 12 spiritual laws is, number 1 is the law of divine oneness, okay? Everything is connected. Everything is connected through the superconscious. So what you do, think, and believe affects everyone, okay, and everything. Example, if you show kindness to a stranger, it can create a ripple effect, okay? The ripple effect is when you're nice to somebody, right? You put them in a good mood, right? They put somebody else in a good mood when they meet them. That's sometimes it's known as the butterfly effect. The law of vibration, everything has a frequency and vibrates. Your thoughts and feelings send out energy. And the biggest energy center you have is your heart chakra. Okay, your heart sends out the biggest energy. So when you do things from your heart. Hi, Pearl. Hey, Carlos. Good morning. So the law of attraction, the law of action is number 3. So the law of action, you must take action to manifest things in your life. Now, there is only the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Okay, so your conscious mind is the frontal lobe of your brain that thinks a million thoughts a day. The most predominant thoughts from there go into your subconscious and form your beliefs. Now, once you start believing certain things, those beliefs form your paradigm. Okay, your paradigm starts producing actions and habits, okay, especially your subconscious. So it memorizes everything. It memorizes everything, and then, of course, you start acting on what you believe. So the law of action says you must take action to manifest things. Okay, it would be really cool if we were just like wishing for a brand new car and then it pops into the driveway tomorrow. That would be really cool if it happened that way. But so the law of correspondence, okay, is number 4. Your outer world reflects your inner world. So, a good way to do that is when you're at work and you see somebody's desk, and it's like all messy, right? And you see somebody else's desk and like it's all organized and it's all orderly. Okay, that's a reflection of who they are inside. Okay, that's a reflection of who you are inside. That's the law of correspondence. The law of cause and effect says that every action has a reaction. Sir Isaac Newton's third law. Okay, so whatever goes around comes around. Now, with the subconscious mind, I can tell you that what goes around comes around in the way that whatever you speak goes into your subconscious. Your subconscious is not aware. It cannot distinguish between fantasy and reality. So your subconscious may think you're talking to yourself when you say something bad to somebody, say something bad about somebody. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference, and that's the law of cause and effect. Okay, so and a lot of people call that karma, like what you dish out, you get. But when you get it from your subconscious, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more serious because you can pronounce things into your own life without really realizing what you're doing when you're pronouncing it towards someone else or about someone else or that kind of thing. Okay, law of compensation, you are rewarded according to your actions. Okay, so I mean, all of these things are in holy books. All of these things are in the Bible. Okay, so a law of action, like attracts like. So law of compensation, you're rewarded according to your actions. So blessings come back in different forms. Okay, just because you bless somebody with something good, or just because you are nice to somebody, it doesn't mean that person's going to be nice to you. That's not the law of compensation. So the law of compensation says you do good, you get good, but you don't know where it's going to come from. It could come from like the most random place, okay? But it will come back. So always, be generous, be kind, be good towards people, and good will come back to you. The law of attraction, okay? So like attracts like. Your vibe attracts your tribe, okay? So the example is like if you focus on abundance and gratitude, more opportunities will flow to you. Now, I can tell you that that's a fact. I can tell you that it works that way in my life. It's worked that way for me for everything. I can't tell you how it works. I don't know how it works, okay? But when you are grateful, when you express gratitude, when you express these things, it comes back to you like more. More things come back, better things come back. And it's also subconscious, so it becomes a habit. You can create that habit, and when you create that habit, you create a better life for yourself. Okay, law of perpetual transmutation of energy, of energy. Energy is always moving and can be changed. Higher vibrations can transform lower ones. In other words, if you're hanging around with the wrong crowd and you know it's the wrong crowd and kind of like you're over it, like you've been around these guys and like you're done already, like you want to find something better, some better people, they can raise your vibration just by being around them, okay? Because you're changing your environment. Changing your environment is very important, okay? So if you feel like, you're stagnant, if you feel you're not moving anywhere, if you feel that, there's something better for me, but you don't know what it is or whatever, try changing your environment. Make new friends, okay? And have friends that can move you up and that are not afraid to push you forward, okay? If you're stuck around the same old people, you know, and I know I've been there, okay? And you're stuck around the same old guys doing the same old thing, and they're trying to drag you down, and they're trying to, you know, that kind of thing. That's bad for them, okay? But you can rise above that. And the way you rise above it is by changing your environment. The way you rise above it is by striving for better, okay? And you want to be around people that can lift you higher, not people that are going to push you down. If people are pushing you down, that's not your tribe, that's not your vibe, okay? Go find people that vibe with you, okay? So the law of relativity, everything is relative. Problems and blessings only have meaning compared to something else, okay? So you know, you compare it to other things. Law of relativity. You may think your job is hard, but when you compare it to somebody else, right? Or you may think your life is hard, and then you look at somebody else and go, whoa, you know. So when you make that comparison, you can feel grateful for what you have. You can feel grateful for what you're doing. You know, if you're making an honest effort to be better, you're making an honest effort to do better, then yeah, you know, when you see someone else, and you know, it kind of puts it in, it kind of makes it relative for you. It kind of puts it in perspective, and you see these things, and you go, yeah, okay, I get it. You know, the law of polarity. Everything has an opposite. Okay, everything has an opposite. So if you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. Okay, and if you you know. If you can identify what you don't want, make a list. Make a list of what you don't want. The things that are happening in your life right now that you don't want, make a list. Okay, and then you'll know what you do want because of the law of polarity. You can understand, you know, to understand happiness, you gotta go through some sad times to appreciate it, right? And you know, if things are down, things will not be down forever. Okay, good things are coming. You just have to look for them. You have to appreciate them. You have to understand that these things happen. So the law of polarity is a thing. The law of rhythm, okay, this is number 11. Life moves in cycles. Everything has a pattern, ups, downs, flows, and ebbs. What does that mean? Well, sometimes money comes, right? And money's coming, money's coming. Okay, money doesn't come forever. Okay, then money goes out, right? It's time to pay bills, right? Money goes out, money goes out. So you have to master a rhythm with money. That's one thing. Money is an energy. You have to look at money that way. It's an energy. Okay, now there's a rhythm to money. There's a rhythm to everything in life. Okay, there's rhythm. When you start watching the rhythm of things, it's more predictable. Okay. Oh, mahalo. Hey, Raven Ann, Anthony, how's it? Janet, how's it? Susan. All right. So, there's a rhythm to it. Okay. So when money's coming in, right, you know that there's going to be a dip somewhere, right? But the thing to pay attention to is when money's coming in and money's going out, observe the cycles. Observe the cycles. And pretty soon you can understand the timing. Now, the timing is in relation to your effort. Okay. Now, you cannot do constant effort. When you push, okay, you're creating this energetic barrier over here. And then your goodness, your good stuff, your blessings cannot get to you. Why? Because forward momentum, you're pushing. Okay, so you have to find your rhythm. And your rhythm is, you know, first you do, and then you be. And then you do, and then you be. It's a rhythm, okay? You're gonna watch that your money situation, okay, that flow when it's coming and when it's going out is in direct proportion to your momentum, okay? So the push, okay, work, and then like that, do, and then be. Okay, so Dr. Amit Goswami, he's one of the foremost quantum physicists in the world. He told me, he said, you know, you Americans, you guys got it all backwards. You guys do it wrong. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, because in the West, you guys push. You drive yourself to illness and exhaustion and sickness. And I said, oh, so what's what do we do? He goes, you have to do and then be, and then do and then be. Effort, rest, okay? Now, when you do this, you're going to see that money has a rhythm. You're going to see when it comes in and when it goes out. And then you'll be able to work the rhythm, okay? Now, the law of attraction part, okay? When like attracts like, okay, you'll also know that in the rhythm. And the law of rhythm, the 11th spiritual law of rhythm, will teach you this. Okay, so you can observe the rhythm. Okay, anyway, so let's go to number 12, the law of giving and receiving. Okay, To receive, you must also give. So whatever you want in life, if you want love, give love first. If you want money, give money first. Okay, whatever it is that you want, you have to give first. If you want time from somebody, you want people to spend time with you, give time first. Now, the most important thing you can give in your life is time. Okay, time, you can't get your time back. So when you give time, you're giving your life. Okay, so when you give someone your time, it's the most valuable thing you can do. Okay, I give my time to a lot of people because that's the way I prefer to spend my life. Okay, so I give a lot of time and I give a lot of, you know, let's say, pay attention to certain things that people want to make better in their lives, and that's why Here For You Life Coaching exists. So take time with, you know, if you want others to give you time, if you want money, if that's what you want, then you have to give. Now, some people tell me, well, I don't have enough money, Junior. I only have a little money. I don't have anything to give. Well, see, what you can do is you can give the pennies that you have. You know those little pennies? So what I used to do is I used to go to a local shopping center here in Hawaii, and I used to give coins to little kids. I see them in the shopping center, and I would reach in my pocket, and, you know, I would save these quarters. So I would have like a whole bunch of quarters at home, you know, and I'd fill my pockets with quarters. And I'd go to the shopping center and I'd give it to the kids. And you should see them light up and smile and everybody like this, you know, and you know, pass out coins and stuff like that, right? And that's the heart chakra working. So when you do that and you put these kids in a good mood, guess what happens? They're going to interact with someone else and put them in a good mood, okay? So the law of giving and receiving is important because unless you give, you cannot just take. Okay, there's givers and takers, right? We all know that in life. And so the takers, they're more prone to take than give. Okay, the givers are more prone to give than take. Okay, but the law of giving and receiving, okay, the 12th spiritual law or universal law, as it were, is very important because whatever you want in life, you got to give first. Whatever it is, God is real, okay, but God isn't here. Okay, Jesus Christ told us that the kingdom is within. Okay, it's all in here. The conscious, the subconscious, and superconscious are all in here. Now, let's go. Those are the 12 universal laws. Okay, so the universe works in harmony. The universe works in mathematics. It's mathematically precisioned. It's mathematically correct. Okay, so in order to understand the universe, you really don't have to do anything but listen. Okay, and that's why prayer is important and meditation is important. Okay, because you have to do both. Prayer is asking, meditation is listening. Okay, so you have to pray and meditate. Both of those things are important. Now, this morning we're on 6 networks, so you guys on Facebook. Hey, Russell, how you doing, Russell? You're going to see me looking here, and then you're going to see me looking here. Because we're simultaneously all over the world right now. This is crazy. But anyway, Here For You Life Coaching is the company. Our website is hereforyouLifeCoaching.com. And if you have any questions on anything, I'd be glad to help you. So all you have to do is write to me, junior@hereforyouLifeCoaching.com. Okay, so we're also on, this morning, we're on TikTok, and we're keeping our eye on TikTok. And we have our comment section on TikTok, so that's going on, and Facebook, of course, we have 2 Facebook pages that are live right now, Here For You Life Coaching, and my homepage up here. So we'd like to aloha you guys. Thomas, good morning, Thomas. How's it? Kane, aloha, bro. Aloha. So those are my Hawaii peeps that are up there, and you guys down here. So you guys can see me looking down here. We're on a variety of networks. We don't want to say which because on TikTok the algorithm will pick us up like that, and it might affect us if we use other people's brands. Yeah. So how's it, you guys? How's it? That's my page up there, my homies. So anyway, so now we're gonna get back to the subconscious. Now, when you hear people say, "Oh, you gotta manifest this, manifest that," okay, so a lot of people are under the impression that only certain people can manifest. Oh, manifest is a mystical thing. No, it's not. It's you manifest whether you believe it or not. You manifest it whether you know it or not, or whether you're conscious of it or not. Okay, if you're living a random life, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to live that random life. You can predict that life precision. I mean, to almost to the T, right? But you have to get your subconscious involved. Okay, I wrote about it here in my book, the universal law of attraction and singing. Okay, now the universal law of attraction and singing, this is not a book about singing per se. This is about what happens when we use a person's voice to calm them internally. This is what happens when we use the human voice to raise people's awareness. So this is on Amazon. Okay, another book that I'm going to recommend, and I don't get anything from this or anything at all. Like I don't get royalties or a cut or anything. This is a very good book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Dr. Joseph Murphy. Dr. Murphy was one of two people that were pioneers in the area of subconscious study. So subconscious is very important. That's where you manifest from. Okay, so if you really take a hold of your subconscious mind, if you give it instructions, it doesn't know right from wrong, it doesn't know good from bad, it can't distinguish fantasy from reality, it just takes orders. So your thoughts that you think every day from all day long, right? You think a million thoughts in your frontal lobe. The most predominant thoughts go into your subconscious. Those start to form your beliefs of how you see the world, how you believe the world is. That forms your paradigm. If you look at a tree, the roots of the tree are your beliefs. Your paradigm is the trunk of the tree, and the fruits of the tree are your actions and your habits. Now, human beings are more sensitive than you realize. Human beings are way more sensitive than you think, okay? Now, human beings are so sensitive that habits can be created like that, good or bad, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the habit is good or if the habit is bad. If the habit is bad, maybe you want to correct it, but you can correct it very easily. Now, the 4 pillars that we focus on, affirmations, meditation, visualization, and vocalization. And out of the 4, the most powerful for the subconscious is visualization. Okay, now there's 2 different types of visualization. We're going to go over this for our new network people. Okay, we've been doing this on TikTok for a while. My TikTok guys, they know. But then, so for you new networks, you newbies, okay, and we want to welcome you and say aloha from Hawaii. For you new people, we want to let you know that once you start forming your new beliefs, right, affirmations, write it out. I am so happy and grateful now that what? Now that I have a new job at XYZ company. And be specific. This is one of the strongest, most powerful tools you can use because it affects your subconscious mind. Now, if you're doing and I see a lot of the young kids teaching, manifestation. We're going to teach you how to manifest, and then, they give you a course or whatever. That's not even necessary. Hello, good morning, wolf to wolf dog. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Hello there. So this is the most powerful tool you can use because this can shape your beliefs. Now, let's say you have a bad habit. Let's say you acquire a bad habit. Okay, how are bad habits acquired? It's so simple. It's very simple, right? So you try this piece of cake, right? Whoa, that's a good piece of cake. Oh, I like that cake. Let's try that again, right? And you do it again, right? And then, wow, I really like that cake. Pretty. Where do they sell that cake? Okay, right? And then you go look for the cake, right? And you see the cake and you find out where they got it, and then you buy a couple of them because you really like it. Now you got in the habit of eating that cake, okay? It's easy to form bad habits. It's easy to form good habits too. All you have to do is use a pen, okay? I am so happy and grateful now that I am eating a balanced diet. There you go. You're getting rid of the cake already, okay? Now, the 4 pillars, okay, so there's affirmations, meditation, visualization, and vocalization. Now, what is the visualization part? Well, what I do is, I have I'll show it to you. I have vision boards that I make on my phone. So for you guys up there on my account, see, so the how is always God's job. So ask, believe, receive. That's Mark 11:24. Okay, Mark 11:24 for you guys that read your Bibles. If you don't read Bible, that's fine. I mean, it's just there. Okay, but the how is always God's job. Now, I have other vision boards. So let's say your vision board is for your company. Let's say you're trying to focus on your company and put your energies into your company. Okay, so I have my vision board right there. Okay, for my company. Now that's when I'm working on things for my company. I'm working on things. We have a family of service companies in Hawaii. They're all online and they're all owned by Voice Master Enterprises. You can look us up. We're in the DCCA. If you just Google it, you'll find it. But anyway, so our companies and things are important. So when I'm focused on like, okay, we're doing company work this week, or we're focusing on the company today, I'll put my vision board on like that. Okay, now there's other vision boards, okay, or other things. Now vision boards don't have to be for things or companies or specific material things. This is my new one that I'm making. Okay, so this is a new one that I'm using actually for my next lease. Okay, so and I don't buy cars, I lease them. If you have a business, lease the car. Don't buy it. Right now it's getting ridiculous with the tariffs. I also use a gratitude board. Okay, so this is my gratitude board. So can you see that on yeah, TikTok right there? Okay, and then of course Facebook up here like that. That's a gratitude board. So those are things that I already have, or I already do, or a company logo or something like that. Things that I'm grateful for. And so make a gratitude board. Make things that it could be your children, it could be your wife, it could be your husband, it could be your boyfriend, it could be anything. It could be your car, okay? You're grateful for your car, your dog, whatever it is. But you have to put yourself in the center, because your subconscious is going to see this every time you pick up your phone. Okay? So every time I pick up my phone, so if my phone is sleeping, when I pick up my phone, there it is. Okay? And I see it. And this gratitude board reminds me to be thankful of the blessings that I have received. Thank you very much. Mahalo. Thank you guys. Thank you guys on my Facebook. And thank you guys here on TikTok. So yeah, I'm looking up and down because we got a series of things going on. We're also can I say YouTube? I think I can say YouTube. Aloha to everybody on YouTube. But anyway, so the bottom line is, whatever you're grateful for, whatever you want to bring in your life, visualization is the most powerful. Now that's one form of visualization. What's the other form, Junior? Okay, the other form is to see it in your mind. And one of the most important things is self-image. Okay, the way you see yourself, the way you think about yourself. Okay, that counts more than anything, because if you don't think good about yourself, or you don't think well about yourself, guess what's going to happen? You're going to hold yourself back from things because you're not going to feel worthy. Okay, so you have to. I work with a lot of children. I've worked with kids for 36 years now. I've worked with children. Okay, and if it's the first thing I teach them is confidence, because especially today we see a lack of confidence with children. Okay, and there's many reasons. Okay, but this is also isolation for children. This is isolation. Okay, when they're being raised by their phone, or they're being raised by their laptop or their tablet, it's a form of isolation. It isolates them into a particular part of the world or a particular thing. And confidence, the clients that I have are in their 40s and late 30s, and professional people. They're what I call high performance professionals, and they need confidence. And confidence is a still, calm feeling. Okay, confidence is not posturing. It's not like walking around going, "Hey, what?" It's not that kind of thing. Okay, confidence is a real chill, laid back feeling. Okay, now the eyes are the mirrors of the soul. The voice is the mirror of the feelings and emotions. Okay, if you know how to read a pair of eyes, if you know how to listen to a voice, you can tell a lot about a person. Okay, and we use a vocalization exercise. So I told you guys about the visualization. Now we'll talk about vocalization for a while. We use a vocalization exercise. Nikola Tesla taught us about energy, frequency, vibration. Now, in addition to that, we add velocity, okay, or wind strength or pressure, okay. And when we do our vocalization exercises, it triggers a bunch of hormones, okay. It triggers a lot of different hormones and stuff. I'm gonna just pull up the website a little bit, and I'm going to read just a little bit of what's on the website, because I'm operating in real time on many platforms right now. So what this does, okay, and this is backed by neuroscience. This is not something that we just pulled out of the hat or pulled out of the sky. But what happens when you use tone with pressure, okay, and we're talking about like that, pressure, okay, you stimulate endorphins, okay, so your neurotransmitters start firing, and you release endorphins like oxytocin, dopamine. You also raise your GABA levels. So what the GABA does is it calms the nervous system. Okay, dopamine is the reward neurotransmitter. Okay, so it starts to reward you with the it's the feel good hormone. Okay, oxytocin is the trust and connection hormone. Now with all this disconnection, with disconnection online and stuff like that, and people are like all in their phones and their tablets, and so we think we're connected, okay, but there's a human disconnect, especially with children. So I have teens that I work with, that some of them are being just their lives are being taken up by screen time, and some of them just want to pursue their goals, right? But they don't know how. They're trying to find their way through, okay? And they're trying to find their way through the noise. There's a lot of noise out there, okay? Because there's a lot of distraction. So they try to find their way through. So having a plan for them and teaching them confidence and teaching them how to be confident is very important. And their voice is probably the fastest one. Now, cortisol reduction also happens with this. The stress hormone levels decrease. So cortisol decreases, and what that does is it allows for clearer thinking and decision making. And this is why the confidence comes in so quickly through the voice. It's because when you do this, you just have a state of calm in the brain. Okay. Now, repetitive cycles of this are necessary. So, people ask me like, okay, well, how long does this take, Uncle? And I'm usually my usual response is 3 to 4 months, once a week. We do this once a week, 3 to 4 months, and you're good. But actually, during the third session, we do 1 hour sessions. But during the third session is where people really realize, they go, wow, yeah, and it's all relative to how much energy you put into it. Okay. Because some of my clients, when they come to me, they're doing bare minimum, okay? And I gotta say, bring your voice out, right? And we're talking about vocalization for those of you who just joined us, and I'm like, bring your voice out, come on, bring your voice out, and it's a big process. So when my clients come to me, they're like this, okay? They're like this. Most of them are like this, and this is what the world does to you. This is stress. This is overthinking. This is hiding in yourself. Okay, because yourself is a good place to hide. But they're like this, and the process is to relax them. They have to go like this first, then like this, and then boom, they open. Okay? Now, I have to say through this whole thing that God is real. God lives in here. God lives in you. All you have to do is work on this one. Okay? Never mind anything else. There is no out there. The only thing out there is nature and other things from other humans in here. That's all that's out there. That's it. Okay? So, but you tap into the superconscious. Your subconscious communicates with the superconscious. So you have your conscious mind that thinks a million thoughts a day, your frontal lobe. Okay? Then you have the dominant thoughts that go into your subconscious, the things you think about the most. And why is this concerning in the negative aspect of things? Because this is one of the things that vocalization takes away, right? And why is that important that we become confident? It's important because you take the worries and problems from yesterday. When you wake up this morning, you start thinking about them again. Then you take it into tomorrow and the next day. You're repeating cycles of this because the subconscious learns in repetition. Now you're stuck in the cycle. You're living the same life every day, and you're wondering, like, why do I get the same results? How come the same problems follow me like every day? Because you keep remembering it. You keep focusing on it. You keep bringing it into the next day, to the next day, to the next day. Pretty soon, you don't have any days left. You're gone. But you have lived the same life over and over and over and over and over. You know where hell exists? Hell exists in your subconscious mind because it learns through repetition. It takes instruction, it learns what you teach it, and then it keeps acting the same way, bringing the same beliefs, right? The beliefs never change. The beliefs form your paradigm. Your paradigm is your general understanding of how the world works, what to do, what not to do, how to act, how not to act, whatever, all of that. And then the fruits of the tree, right? Like we said, the fruits of the tree are your actions and habits, and that's formed by your paradigm. So now what do you have? Well, you have this same paradigm that's never changed. in general, your overall paradigm, right? Now, human beings have multiple paradigms, okay? Because you don't act with your dad the same way you act with your mom. You don't act with your wife the same way you react with your children or your boss. Everybody's different, right? So you deal with everyone separately and everyone accordingly, and you have a paradigm for all of these things, for all of these people. And it's because you're the highest form of intelligence on the planet. You're a human being, okay? So that's why this is possible, and that's why it happens. So anyway, we also, with this, we say find your voice, find yourself, and a voice is very, very important, and finding your voice is very, very important. So we. Oh, welcome, Rana. Welcome, Rana. I sent Rana a copy of my book. I want to show you guys the book again. The book is just stories of real people that have gone through this change through their voice. The law of attraction, the universal law of attraction and singing. That's all that, here, there you go. There you go. Okay, now we got it on TikTok. There you go. Okay, so we're working multiple cameras this morning. So, but yeah, I'm doing well, Rana. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. What's meant by paradigm? Okay, so I just explained it. I'll explain it again. A lot of people, don't know what this is. So a paradigm. I hope you enjoy the book, Rana. Thank you. So your paradigm, right, is just the way you see the world, your general paradigm, your general understanding of things. And people always, you see thought leaders all the time, and they say, well, you got to change your paradigm. Well, you have multiple paradigms, okay? But once you start making a change in your beliefs, everything else is affected. Okay, but that being said, you have a belief about your mom, you have a belief about your dad, about your employer, you have a belief about your coworkers, you have a belief about everything. Okay, so you have multiple paradigms. Paradigms produce your actions and habits based upon what you believe to be true and what you believe to be true, in the world. Now, when in regards to manifestation, which is what we talk about all the time, how to get a better life, how to manifest a better life. So when you talk about manifestation in this sense, what you're talking about is when you change your beliefs, you change your paradigm, okay? You change your overall understanding of everything. When you change your overall understanding of everything, you change the actions, the fruit of the tree, okay? In the Bible it says you will know them by their fruits, okay? Take a look at people's fruits, okay? If you really want to understand somebody, just look at what's around them. Look at what surrounds them. Are they in drama all the time? Are they experiencing, like pressure all the time? Whatever. And then look at the things around them. Look at their home. Are they keeping an orderly home, or is it like all over the place or scattered all over the place? If they're scattered in their home, if they're scattered on their desk at work, they are scattered in here. Okay? If things are organized, if they are driving a nice car and their car is clean, my car is dirty right now. I gotta take my car to. I'm just saying, but if they're driving, if they don't take, in other words, if they don't take care of their things, then they don't take care of themselves. It's just the way they are. It's not. I'm not passing judgment or anything. Okay, no judgment. It's just the way it is. It is what it is. It's not right or wrong. It's just the way it is. Okay. Now these things can be changed very easily, and like I said, all it takes is a pen. So I'm going to show you guys mine. I'm going to reach down here and show you guys. This is the one I'm still working on. So this is my affirmations. And affirmations are very important. Even if you're not trying to bring something new into your world, okay, affirmations are important. So with my clients, I have them do affirmations all the time. So these are all affirmations. This is not journaling. This is not journaling. This is affirmations, okay? I am so happy and grateful now that, okay? Yeah, so this is like years. In one book, it's like years. Okay, now, what do you do what do you accomplish by doing this? Well, you train your subconscious. So the first thing I give my clients is 100 positive I ams about myself. Okay, so I tell them, write down 100 positive I ams about yourself. I am happy, I am loyal, I am kind, I am generous, I'm a good brother, I'm a good sister, I'm a good mother, I'm a good father, whatever it is. but write 100. Okay. We also have something called cell formations. Yesterday I was talking about cell formations. For you guys that didn't, you know, hear yesterday's broadcast, let's go over that. So you know how you have a recorder on your phone over here? You have a recorder. If you have an iPhone, it looks like this. If you have Samsung, maybe different, yeah. But anyway, so go on your recorder and now read 100. Read 100. I'm sorry, Kane. What is that? Is there a specific length on what makes a good affirmation? You should make it as concise and short as possible, King. And the reason why, brother, is because when you give your subconscious too much, right, it takes instruction. But the simpler and the more, I want to say, yeah, just the more simple you can do it. So I am so happy and grateful now that I have $100 extra this month. That's it. And then write thank you at the end because you want to end it with gratitude. You want to end it in saying thank you for things. So yeah, so as short and as concise as possible and precise. Now, when you're starting to write your 100 I ams about yourself, one of the purposes for this, okay, is to open up your subconscious. And your subconscious is like a muscle. It's like a muscle. You got to work it, okay? Now, if you don't work it, what happens? Well, if you don't work it, the same programs are going to keep running all the time. So I want you to think about your conscious mind, your frontal lobe, as your processing center, your operating software. Okay, we'll do it that way because everybody's familiar already, right? So that's your operating software. Okay, your subconscious is your hard drive. Okay, your subconscious is your hard drive. Now the superconscious is the network that we're all plugged into. Okay, and I'll say it again: God is real. Okay, God is real. The kingdom is within. The kingdom is in here. There's no out there. God is not up in the sky someplace watching you like this. God, that's not God. Okay, that may be something else, but it's not God. God is in here. Okay, and this is why everything comes to us through others. All of our blessings come to us through others. Okay, now people. Oh yeah, Kane, anytime. And you can Kane, you're on my Facebook, so you can inbox me anytime, message me, ask me. I'll be glad to help. Always help. So and mahalo for being here. So those are my homies up there on Facebook. So anyway, I don't know if I can say that, but hopefully the algorithm doesn't dock me for that. But yeah, so you really have to start understanding that if you don't give your subconscious a job, it functions on the last known program, okay, or the last dominant thought. What were you thinking about the most? The reason why you need to think on what you want and what you don't want is because when you think about what you don't want, your subconscious goes, oh, that. It doesn't matter if you're thinking, I don't want debt, or I want to get out of debt, or I want to solve debt. It's debt that your subconscious is thinking about, debt. Okay, it doesn't matter what the judgment part is. Like I want to get in, I want to get out, I want to avoid, whatever. Debt is the subject. So what will happen? You will get put into more debt and more debt. Your subconscious is going to have you create small little actions to get to debt. Okay, because that's the way it works. Now, when I was studying all of this back in 2007, I studied all of this. The website is hereforyoulifecoaching.com. I need to be reminded to say that. So it's hereforyoulifecoaching.com. You can reach me at junior@hereforyoulifecoaching.com, and I answer all of my emails. Sometimes it takes me time because I get a lot, but yeah, I will answer. So if you send me emails, junior@hereforyoulifecoaching.com, I will answer whatever it is that you need help with. So, but yeah, let me say that if you don't condition or if you don't give your subconscious new work to do or new orders, you're going to be functioning on the old orders or the old things. Okay. Now, if money always goes out or romance always like something happens, divorce again, right? So here's something about marriage. I haven't really talked about relationships yet. We're talking about how to reprogram your subconscious because that's where the manifestation happens in your subconscious. Now the superconscious is what connects all of us. That's God, okay? Or consciousness, however you believe, source, creator, all of that. But that's what that is. And there's only those three things. So the subconscious communicates with the superconscious. And that's why when you take the steps towards maybe a new job, or maybe you want to, I don't know, whatever. People come into play, right? Your new goals. People come into play and go, hey, you know what? I was thinking about working down the gun range. And then I met this guy, and he works down the gun range. He said, hey, come down and apply for a job. You see? So that's the superconscious at work. Okay, this stuff is not magic. This is not magic in the magic sense, like a magic show. It's not that. It's not black magic. It's not witchcraft. It's not voodoo. It's your subconscious. Okay, so the thing about making everything sound mystical, and it makes for a good story. It makes for a good it makes for a good program. It makes for a good documentary and stuff. So when you watch this stuff, and then of course we have church people going, "Oh, that's satanic." No, it's not satanic. It's your subconscious mind. Okay. Now, and the superconscious is the God part. Okay. The superconscious is Christ consciousness. The superconscious is source. The superconscious is all of that. But that's where blessings come from. But it comes through others because it communicates with subconscious. Okay. And like attracts like. So of course, like-minded individuals are going to come together and help. So we get help from everybody. We get help from other people. Everything comes to us through others. Okay, now the more they believe in God, or the more like-minded they are to us, or the more that they want to help, or the more that they're generous, and we're going to attract those people. If you're generous, you will attract generous people. Okay, and yeah, you're going to attract some takers. That's going to happen. I mean, God, that's happened to me so much in my life. But awareness is key, right? When you're aware of it, and you're aware that the takers are there to take, then of course you're only going to give as much as you're willing. Okay, so you're responsible. You're responsible for you. You're responsible for your blessings. Okay, so Rana, you have a question. Okay, thank you, Jay. Thank you. Okay, so if someone's paradigm is provocative, and I'm obligated to deal with them for mutual, am I obligated to deal with them for mutual interest? You're not obligated to anything. You're not obligated to anyone. Yeah, Rana, you're not obligated. Never feel obligated to anyone, guys. Okay. Hey, Lydia. It's all foreign to you. Okay, then you need to tune in every morning at 7 a.m. Hawaii time. We're going to do this. We're starting to do this. So it's all foreign to you. Okay, so Lydia, it's real simple. The thoughts you think the most go into your subconscious. Your subconscious learns all of these programs, creates these programs. That creates your actions and habits and paradigm, and then you start doing the same things every day. Okay, so if you want to change that, affirmations are good. This is there's a reason why they say the pen is mightier than the sword. Okay, because the pen can change your life. You just need to write about it. Now, it doesn't work when you type it in a keyboard. That's the other thing I got to teach you guys. Okay, because a lot of teens, a lot of our kids, God bless them. I love the kids. Okay, but they go in here and they go, okay, I'm gonna type this out. I am so happy and grateful, and then nothing happens, and they go, oh, this doesn't work. This is not real. No, it's real. You're the highest form of intelligence on the planet. You're the highest form of intelligence. Okay, even better than AI. AI has not caught up yet. I'm sorry, but it has not caught up to us, to human being level. It has not done that. They're trying to do it. It hasn't done it yet. But yeah, so Rana, don't feel obligated to anyone for anything. You are not obligated. Another thing is, especially here in Hawaii, I notice, right? We have this hierarchy and these gatekeepers for things, okay? If there's a gatekeeper, in other words, someone that you have to appease to get into a job or to get into a company or to get ahead or to whatever, okay? You have to know that you have the blessings in here. You have to know that you came fully equipped. You have to know that the blessings are already here because God lives in here, okay? Now, there is such a thing as blind faith, okay? You need to do the work. So the work, right? We went over the law of action this morning. Okay, so you need to do the work. What's the work? Well, you got to put a little bit of effort in there, small kind, baby steps towards your goal. Okay, baby steps. Now, let's say you want a brand new car. What's the baby step? Well, if you keep telling your subconscious that you want a car, if you write it down, I am so happy and grateful now that I have a brand new car. Thank you. Now, if that's your affirmation, write it every day in the morning. Speak it out loud every evening before you go to bed. In the morning when you first wake up, your brain is in theta state. It's in relaxation mode, okay? And it's that way right before you go to sleep. So right before you go to sleep, when you have your head on the pillow, when you're nice and comfortable, all you do is read your affirmation. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have my brand new car. Thank you. And then go to bed. Now that's the last thing your subconscious is going to hear and the first thing it will remember. So all night long, your subconscious is taking that instruction. Now, if you do this every day, right? How long does it take? It takes 2 months. It takes about 63 days, actually, to change a habit. It takes about 63 days to introduce a new program. It takes about that long. And what happens is when you start installing a new program into your subconscious, or let's say it another way, when you start thinking, right, that one thought that you wrote down and now you're focused on that one thought, now it goes into your subconscious as a program. Now that subconscious starts to feed into your paradigm, which is your overall understanding of things. Now that paradigm starts to create your actions and habits, right? Your subconscious will, okay, well, maybe I should save some money. Or your subconscious might go, oh, maybe I better make a loan. Or your subconscious might say, oh, maybe I should test drive a car. Maybe I should go down to the dealership. Maybe I shouldn't be afraid. Okay. Now the last thing I'll tell you guys is a story about when I got my new car. I'm not going to tell the whole story. I've told it so many times on TikTok already. But when I did, right, I was always conditioned as a kid, okay, to buy a good used car because the minute you drive it off the lot, it depreciates, right? So hey Jeff, all right, hey Jeff, yeah, long time. How you doing, man? Right on. Nice to see you, Jeff. So I was conditioned as a kid to buy a good used car, okay, and it was probably a good thing to do in my 20s, right? Buy a good used car, get a beater, that kind of thing, right? But you know what? Like it was becoming a habit, and into my 30s, and I was in my late 30s, and I was still doing the same thing. But here was the problem. The problem was the good used cars, right? Had mileage on it, right? And then they start rebuilding themselves. New water pump, new radiator, new alternator, new starter, like all of that stuff, right? So pretty soon it wasn't until 2007 that I went into the dealership and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna try this law of attraction thing. So I did all the exercises before I did that. I visualized, I had my hand on the steering wheel. I was like, I'm going like that. I was, whatever. And then I went down and I decided that I would listen to God when I was there. Okay? That I would tune in to this higher intelligence, okay? That is the creator, that is God, that is source, that is Allah, that is Jesus Christ, that is Yahweh, that is all of these things. Okay? So, and there's only one creator, okay? There's only one, okay? But I don't mean to offend any religious people, okay? But God is real. Anyway, and you all have your respective beliefs, okay? So this is not about church. It's not about how you believe in that sense. But anyway, so I did all the visualization. I did the affirmations, right? I did all that stuff. And I did not plan to go into the car dealership the day I went, but I went. I was driving we have a place called the Viaduct in Honolulu, in Hawaii, and it's under a freeway, and there's all these car places, and I pulled into Infinity, and I didn't know, like, what I was doing. I just had that feeling like, oh, Infinity, right there, go. And I went. And when I went through the motions and stuff, right, with the dealer, with the salesperson, I checked in. So the salesperson said, would you like to take a look at used cars? And I checked in, and God said, yeah, don't be hard-headed, just go. And I'm like, sure. And he showed me, he said, you see anything you like? I said, no. You want to see the new cars? And I'm waiting for that intuitive thought. I'm waiting for the intuitive thought. The intuitive thought said, yeah, okay. So I said, yeah, okay. And it was like that. I would stop, I would check in, think, and I would answer. And maybe the guy thought I was weird or something, but I was checking in. Okay, I was checking in with my higher power, if you will, if you want to call it that. Okay, and everybody, like I said, everybody believes different, but there is a higher power. Okay, there is a higher energy bigger than us. Whatever you call what's in here, a spirit, a soul, okay, energy, it's all of that. Okay, but there is a greater energy. There is a bigger thing, okay? Anyway, so I play along and okay, long story short, right? They make me watch football for, I don't know, the hurry up and wait game. I think it was like like almost 4 hours, right? And I was sitting there waiting. And this was during the recession. And the recession was happening, the stock market was crashing. And the good part about that, right, was that the interest rates were low. The interest rate was like 2%. And I was like, wow, interest rate at 2%. Like I couldn't believe it, right? So everything was working in my favor, although the exterior circumstances were pretty scary. It was pretty scary. What was the outcome? Well, I got 57,000 on signature, just on signature, and walked out. I didn't know what my credit score was. I didn't care. Back in the day, I'm like, credit score. I just work. That's all I know. I just work, right? I just do what I do. And so anyway, but that happened, and ever since then, like till today, when I go in my car, there's new car smell. Now I lease. I'm on, I don't know, my fifth lease, I think, something like fourth lease, I think. So I lease now. I was buying cars for a while, and you buy this one, buy that one, buy this one. Every 3 years I was letting the equity build up, and then buy another one, and that got old, and I was losing money on that, and I didn't care. I'm like, oh, okay. I just wanted, instead of a good used car, I wanted new cars all the time, and that was my new belief, my new paradigm. My new paradigm was like, I drive new cars. That's what I do, and so that can be your paradigm too. Now, when you do something, right, things come to support it. Okay, money comes to support whatever you commit yourself to. Okay, but you got to commit in the right way, and you have to do it with your subconscious, and you have to keep your subconscious sharp. And you have to keep doing your affirmations, meditation, visualization, vocalization. When you do all these 4 things, it will happen. Whatever it is, whatever you want, that you want to be. Now, the only exception is somebody else's free will, okay? So, if there's Diane over there and you want Diane and Diane don't like you, it ain't going to happen. You can't impose on somebody else's free will, okay? So, Rana, thank you so much for joining us again. We've come to the end of another exciting broadcast, and we're also on other networks, so we'd like to thank you. Whatever network you're watching on right now, we'd like to thank you for being with us, and we send you a warm aloha from Hawaii. And we're here to tell you that manifestation is a result of your subconscious. Okay, manifestation is not magic, it's not witchcraft, it's not voodoo, it's not anything like that. Okay, it's your subconscious, and you can do or be anything you desire. Okay, I have teenagers that I work with that are turning their lives around. Okay, teenagers that really are seeking a way out. They're seeking a way towards some sort of like career. Like I have this one boy, and he's 14 years old. I love this kid. He goes, I was born to succeed. And I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be easy for Uncle to work with you, right? And he's telling me he's born to succeed. So we're going to make it possible for him, but we're going to make it possible for him by showing him the right way to do it. Now, my name is Junior, Junior Kekuewa Jr., Kekuewa period. For you guys out there on TikTok that are in different parts of the world, our international account, we want to say mahalo. And you guys can find us here. You guys on Facebook know where to find me. You guys on TikTok can find me here. Okay. We have those are our numbers, and that's where you can find me there. Okay, on TikTok. And then let's put it in the camera range for you guys down here. There you go. Okay, that's where you can find me. You can write to me there, or you can sign up on the website. And we have a 30-minute complimentary thing that we do with people. Okay. And in a half an hour, I can probably give you all the solutions. But the thing is, you have to do it. You have to do it every day. You have to do these things daily. I did it for every day, and it became a habit. And when I started making it a habit, and it was a habit every day, everything started happening. I mean, you can search my name, and you'll see our companies, and you'll see everything that we're doing, and you'll see everything we have done. There's Facebook pages for everything, VMAC consultants for all of our companies, the road show that we don't do anymore. But it's all there, and these things are there that you can see what actually happened as a result of positive thinking. You can call it positive thinking, you can call it the law of attraction, but really, it's your subconscious mind and how you condition your subconscious. And watch what you speak, because your subconscious does not know if you're speaking it to somebody else or if you're speaking it to yourself. So be careful about that. Be mindful. Okay, I'm Junior Kekuewa Jr. Aloha from Hawaii. We shall see you guys next time. And everybody on TikTok, thank you for being here. We shall see you. Thank you, Jay, for moderating. Thank you very much. And yeah, you can email me at junior@hereforyoulifecoaching.com. That's junior@hereforyoulifecoaching.com.